guys, it's Michelle from So Unique Designz, and my landlord had brought me some of these shirts that he wants his company logo embroidered on, and they're, I guess, performance wear, active wear, however you want to call it, but it also is very stretchy. So it's super stretchy, and it also has that two-piece here for the company logo. So I couldn't do the normal 8.5 inches down or whatever it is from the collar, and that would be the center of your logo, because when I did that, it put that logo here, like over the seam of the two colors. So I asked a couple of my embroidery friends and some other Smartstitch trainers like what they do, and we came up with what looks best. Like, I couldn't put it here too much because it would be too big, and then I didn't want to put it way down here, so I actually put my shirt on my mannequin to kind of see what looked best. And my landlord had come by before I started stitching, so we figured it out, and he approved the placement on these. So what I did, I just print out the logo, and it's very used. I've made about 15 of these. So I folded it on those crosshairs. And if you have any kind of software, you can usually print a template. Sometimes it comes with Designz if you purchase them or have them digitized. So just kind of make sure that your shirt is super straight. And I know sometimes like the zipper's off or the seam at the shoulder is off. I had a few of those. But I just try to make it as straight and flat as possible. And then here's my trusty little masking tape, making my little crosshairs on it. Maybe one day I'll buy stickers, I don't know. So what we ended up doing for this one, and I think this is a large, I have my station set up for the large. So we went ahead and we measured, and I think we went down about 6.5, 7 inches from the collar, from the top, and well, from the shoulder, to make it the center of the logo, because we wanted to leave about 1 inch from the seam here to the bottom of the logo. So we went down about 7 inches. Like if we did 8.5, it would have brought it down here. So we're going to do 7 inches here, and I'll just line that up. And then we're still going to do that normal 4 inches. Everybody says 4 inches from center. So I kind of just laid this here, use my mat, and then I went from the middle of the zipper teeth, and then we're going to do, this helps keep it straight too, 4 inches or so from there, and it made the design about 2.25 from the zipper from the side of the logo. So that's what I did, and this seems to work really good. I had to adjust a little bit up and down on some of the different sizes, but it had been mostly between 6.5, well, actually about 7 to 7.25 or so has been what the thing, I just made sure it was 1 inch from there. And then I'm going to fold this in half, and then I'll put my little tape here where the crosshair is for that. If you can see it, make sure it's straight. And I don't press it all the way down, because I want, when I peel this up, I want to make sure we don't pull our shirt. And then we just kind of make sure like it's there. And sometimes this seam is off. This seam is off a little bit. And then I just kind of make sure, you know, I didn't put my tape on crooked. Since it's so stretchy, I wasn't sure if just regular cutaway would work. I'm using 2.0 ounce of cutaway, mid-weight cutaway. So a couple of people have recommended doing like sticky tearaway on the shirt and then doing cutaway. And I don't really like the sticky too much, and because I hate peeling it off. So what I did instead, I used that, I don't know if you've seen some of my other video, but I used that sticky water soluble on there from Crafty. Sulky also has one, sticky Fabry Sulky is what it is. So I just stuck a pen in that crosshair, and I turned it side out like this and laid it straight. Don't stretch it, but just make sure, see, you can tell the seam is off a little bit. Just make sure, just lay it there like that. And then I put my logo again where I put that pin on center, so I kind of know where I need to put that Sulky. Take my pin out, straighten that back out, don't stretch it. And then take that sticky water soluble. This worked out really good because this will just wash away when they wash their garment. So I just kind of stuck it there. I cut it out the size of the logo because I didn't need a whole big piece. And make sure you don't like move or stretch it. You just kind of press it down. And then kind of like that. I just turn it right back in. And then that kind of helps it not stretch so much. So when we put it on the hooping station and we stitch it, it doesn't hoop so much. I don't think you technically need it. I did one. I misplaced the water soluble on a different one and it still turned out okay. But for peace of mind and to keep it from doing this, I just started using the little piece of the sticky water soluble. Everyone says the hooping station gives you perfect and accurate placement every time, but I still like to take those extra steps just to make sure. Sometimes I feel like with the seams are off, or you know, if you're trying to do a lot quickly, even with the same settings, it could be a little bit different. So I actually seen somebody else's video. I think it was Kathy. But she had marked the center of her little things here on this fixture. So when you kind of have your hoop on, you go like this, you can see that horizontal line. So you can kind of line it up to where I did my little placement. So I try to make that zipper on that center seam. Make sure this is pulled down enough. I already did like 15 of these. So I know it's kind of like I need to move it a little bit. And then sometimes I'll take like my ruler and line up those two little lines and kind of do this. And it's a little bit under my placement. So I'll move the shirt up just a teeny bit. I'm not going to stress so much about if it's exactly center in here because I'm going to move it on my machine. So now it's up just a teeny bit. Yep. There we go. I'll just kind of do this. Yep, and it's right on that crosshair. So now I'm hooping it backwards. So the bottom of the shirt is going to go into the machine. So I need to make sure my hoop is backwards. So when I put it on, and then I'll just kind of eyeball it that my crosshairs line up as close to this as possible. And you can tell the seam is crooked. So we're gonna put this on backwards. And I already know I have a good bobbin because I had to change that on the last shirt. Make sure that clicks into place. Move all my shirt all around the arm. We'll make sure nothing gets caught in there. Okay, so I want to make sure it's back on needle number 1. Even though I just made a ton of these, I go through these same steps every time. And I made sure my light was on point before I started doing this. So now I'm just going to move the hoop. So you can see you move it all this way until I see it on top of the actual crosshair that I did. And then once that is on where it needs to go, it is kind of shiny so you can't really see. I'm going to do a trace just to make sure we're all good. Once you got it in place and set exactly where you want it to go, I just use a pair of tweezers to kind of peel off that tape very slowly and easily so we don't move or bunch up the stretchy fabric. And then we're going to stitch out the logo. Okay, it's done. Here it is. So I'm just going to pop this off. Take this out. trim these few little threads here. You can see I kind of did not place that exactly the way where it should, but that's okay. And I'm just going to cut carefully around both of these. I'm always afraid I'm going to cut the shirt. And this, you're not going to really worry with it because it's going to wash away. But these are Christmas gifts he's given out, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim that too. Then make sure it came out straight with that silly seam. I don't know if you could see it, but like that's how it came out. So, and it's not puckered, that's just the way the shirt's laying. I'm holding it. What do you think? I think it turned out pretty good. I hope this tutorial helps.